Hi, my name is Don Carl. I'm a social studies teacher at Central York High School in York, Pennsylvania. And the following is an introduction and small discussion on some things for an educational workshop, EDW 679 at Millersville University. The first question is, what is my pedagogical style? My style depends a lot on the classroom that I have in front of me. My goal is to be more of a facilitator and have a student-centered situation. But I've learned over the years that I need to adapt my style to where the class is at and use my style to improve the class. And what I mean by that is if a class has a lack of motivation or a lack of maturity, which I don't run into very often, but if it does, then I have to take a different pedagogical approach. I have to be more instructor centered, at least at the beginning until we get used to each other. Once we get used to each other, then I can start to unreel, unreel more rope or tape if you prefer, so that they become more and more relaxed and more able to handle more and more. I keep feeding more and more to them because my goal is to basically have them be intrinsically motivated and working on the things that we decide or explore together and have them enjoy themselves and not have to have the external threat or motivation from outside. That's the goal. Now, whether that happens all the time, to be honest with you, I can't say that that's true, but that's what I strive for. In terms of uh, in terms of in terms of strengths and weaknesses, I'm sorry, strengths and weaknesses, I would say that my number one strength is probably creativity and flexibility. I love to think on my feet. Um, I like it when things are in a state of controlled chaos. I enjoy creativity. I enjoy spontaneity, and I've found that this is often makes some people uncomfortable, and that leads into my weakness. My classroom management skills are great. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I think I may only refer one or two kids to for discipline a year. So I have this organized chaos going, but it's not out of control. That's where my comfort level is when the kids are enjoying themselves and exploring new things and having a good time and learning at the same time. I'm perfectly fine with that. The weakness to that is that sometimes I could stand to be more sequential and less global. More detail oriented would be good rather than less detail oriented, as I sometimes am. So that's probably my greatest strength and greatest weakness. To define whether or not a student is engaged, what is my definition of that? I believe that a student is engaged when they don't really need me for anything other than advice or guidance. In other words, when they're working on an activity or a project, I believe that they're engaged when they say things like, wow, is the period over already? Or, hey, look what time it is. We got to get back to work because time's almost up. I can't believe the time's going so fast. That shows me that they're completely wrapped up and absorbed in what they're doing. And if it's good activities that they're doing and they're that wrapped up in it, that to me is student engagement, and that's part of my goal. In this discussion, I was asked to give three hypothetical students that need help with engagement, and I'll call the first one Chris. Chris is a student who doesn't like being in school, and he's always tired. He's tired because he has a busy social life outside of school. He loves to skateboard. He loves to do anything other than sit in the confines of the school. He's more than likely a very kinesthetic type of learner, and he finds that when he comes and sits in school, all he wants to do is put his head down and sleep. So the question is, and one of the things I would hope to find out in this course is a little bit more techniques and a little bit more way to reach the Chris, who's sitting there that wants to put his head down every day. I mean, he's not mean. He's just tired a lot. He's tired because he's up too late. He's tired because he's not engaged, so let's find a way to engage him. Another typical student that I'd like to be able to find a way to better engage. We'll call her Samantha. Samantha seems like she's mad at the world. Nothing ever goes right for her. That no matter how nice or how kind I try to be to Samantha, she's always distracted and angry and not wanting to be involved with anything that I'm doing. No problem wanting to be involved with socializing with her friends, but just basically angry at any kind of authority, any kind of adult asking her to do anything. I like to try to find a way to engage the Samanthas of the world. The third person or group of people that I'd like to have help engaging are those that really have a sense of arrogance that they don't need to learn this, that what's being learned isn't important or they're better than that. Sometimes I run into that with gifted students. I come up with some type of idea or activity for them to do, and sometimes they think that that they're too good for it, that they don't need to know this, that they already know, for example, how to cite things properly or something like that. I'd also like to know how to get them more engaged and buying in more than what they sometimes do. So I think we've covered all the issues and topics that I'm supposed to cover. I'm glad to be in this class. I'm looking forward to it. I have to say that I'm not comfortable at all using technology, and this has been a struggle for me, but I'm going to keep a positive attitude, and I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, and I'm not going to quit. So thank you all very much. It's nice to meet you. Hope to hear from you again as we tweet.